Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Today we are going to go through three different stories about three very exciting players that I believe would have a monumental positive impact on Chelsea's future. Today we're going to be talking about that clause with Joao Felix. Some interesting developments coming out with this one. We're also going to be taking a look at Chelsea, looking as though we're going to go back in for Enzo Fernandez. Now, I don't know about you lot, but if you've seen the tier list video from earlier today, there was an issue with publishing or something on YouTube. So I'll leave a link in the description. I did a tier list of midfielders for the 23-24 season. Enzo's my dream signing. We're going to talk about him. And then we're also going to talk about Malo Gusto, the 19-year-old Lyon fullback who could well be making a move to Chelsea in January, and how this might just end up being one of the most important transfers that Chelsea make in this window. But we begin by talking about Joao Felix. Now, this has been reported by The Athletic. There is a clause in the deal to Chelsea which could potentially open the door to a signing on a permanent deal in the summer. I was going to say in January then. I'm like, it's not that late in the day yet. There shouldn't be any reason for me to slip up on my words. But Joao Felix, I know he got sent off in his first game, which kind of sugarcoats, or, well, doesn't sugarcoat, does the opposite really. I don't know why I'm starting so slow in this video here. If you're still with me, hit the like button, please do, and subscribe if you're new. Joao Felix, during that 60 minutes before he was sent off at Craven Cottage, I don't know about you lot, but I thought he was absolutely sensational. I thought he bore a turn of pace. I thought he had that little bit of trickery, the ability to see things maybe 2 or 3 steps in advance, which I think has been a major flaw, a major fault in a lot of Chelsea players over the course of the last few years. Predictability of the way that we play has become paramount in virtually every Chelsea performance. Players struggle to find that pass in between the lines. Thiago Silva is one of the only ones to be able to do it. Badiashile has shown in the last 2 games that he looks to be a defender who can try and split the lines with a pass. But what I loved about Joao Felix was he dropped deep, he showed for the ball, he got it in midfield areas, carried it forward, and then looked to play little 1-2s with the likes of Kai Havertz and Mason Mount as well. So I think this whole clause in the Joao Felix contract on his loan move to Chelsea, this to me could be one of the best signings we could make in the summer. I know that you guys might be trying to find the clips where I said I wasn't convinced by Joao Felix. I said the same thing about Mudryk, and then as soon as we signed Mudryk, I was like, well, actually, on reflection, I think this is everything that Chelsea need, and we saw that vindicated in the 30-minute cameo that we saw of Mudryk at the weekend. I think both Joao Felix and Mudryk, when you put both of those two players in this Chelsea team right now, it changes the whole dynamic approach of our attacking. I think both of these two players are so key to Chelsea moving forward that any sign and any chance at this point in time of Joao Felix being available for Chelsea this summer, I think it needs to be explored. He looks as though from Instagram, again, he's bedding into London well, he's getting out in the city, enjoying himself, which, you know, all footballers should be doing that. It doesn't matter how much money you've been paid. It doesn't matter if you get a red card in your debut. It doesn't mean that he's banished to the sofa. It just means that he's not allowed to be selected for Chelsea games until his suspension has been served. So, Joao Felix, very positive start on the field. And the news off the field is that it looks positive for Chelsea if we wish to go and pursue the permanent signing of Felix in the summer. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. If he wants to stay at Chelsea, then it looks as though the club will aim to push the deal in the direction of keeping Joao Felix at Chelsea Football Club. I, for one, would absolutely love to see this. Another thing that I would absolutely love to see is Enzo Fernandez as a Chelsea player. So the news about this was dropping within the first week of January. It was a hot topic of conversation here on GBFC. Chelsea desperately wanted Enzo Fernandez, but Benfica, they halted us, stopped us in our tracks, in our path towards Enzo. Enzo said he wanted to join Chelsea, and then Chelsea were kind of like, looking at the shiny gates thinking, I think we're going to need to bring some more men back if we're going to invade this town. Because Benfica were very, very stubborn with saying we want this release clause to be met. And there is like a little, if we're talking about it in like Game of Thrones style combo that I just brought up there is an element of it where Chelsea might just go in not at the release clause, and they might go in slightly less. Let's talk maybe 100 million euros. We're throwing some ridiculous figures out when it comes to the conversations of transfers. And Chelsea Football Club during this January window, we are setting the tone, should we say, for Premier League spending during the winter months. But maybe Chelsea go back to Benfica, knowing that the player wants to go by the end of this window, and perhaps it's enough with some pressure from the player for Benfica to accept. However, it is still very much a case of like chess between Chelsea and Benfica at this point. It's being rumoured at the moment that Chelsea will be going back in for Enzo Fernandez during this January window. So we're going to have to see how this one plays out. At the moment, it is a lot of talk. We're into the final week now of the window, so I will try and be cautious as to how much excitement and importance I put onto my reactions regarding certain news here on the channel, because as the window drags on and Chelsea don't sign a central midfielder, we will be linked with all and sundry, and there will be rumours and conversations and stories plucked out of thin air about Chelsea looking to buy these players, because whether we like it or not, the central midfield position was probably the most important one that we needed to try and buy for during this January window. And instead of that, we've signed Noni Madueke, who's bloody exciting. We've signed Mudryk, 2 wingers, and we've signed Benoit Badiashile, another centre-back. And we still haven't rectified the central midfield position or the right-back backup for Reece James' position, which is the third and final story that I want to talk about in this news video today. Malo Gusto, a player who, if you follow European football, you will know is one of the most exciting fullbacks in Europe right now. He's 19 years old. He plays for Lyon. We're not talking about all singing, all dancing, goal scoring, mega assist showing fullback that we are in Reece James, but I want to make it very clear here. Reece James is on a different level. He's in a different paradigm to virtually all fullbacks in the world. In my opinion, when Reece James is fit, and if he stays fit, he is and will certainly become the best fullback in world football. There's a lot of people that would want to argue this, saying, well, he's not even England's best right back. He's not even the Premier League's best right back. Reece James brings so much more to the table. And I think the goals and assists that he gets, and the difference between Chelsea with Reece and Chelsea without Reece, just goes to show how important this player is. As a European champion before the age of 23 years old, Reece James has already shown just how important he is to this Chelsea team. When Reece doesn't play, Chelsea don't win football matches. When Reece plays, Chelsea win football matches. So Malo Gusto from Lyon is a brilliant potential signing for Chelsea, because he is a massive, and I mean massive, step up on the current footballing quality output that Chelsea are getting with Azpilicueta as the right back. I absolutely love Azpilicueta. It was his 500. I don't know what's going through my brain today. I've recovered from my tonsillitis, by the way. Brilliant news. All thanks to the vitamin C tablets. Azpilicueta, 500 games in a Chelsea shirt. He's been fantastic for us. I think as an ambassador for Chelsea Football Club, Azpilicueta ticks the boxes. He loves the club. He fights. He gives absolutely everything. But unfortunately, despite us spending money on some exciting wingers, I think it is so essential for Chelsea's potential success between now and the end of the season. Can we still challenge for top 4? Champions League, we're still in it. We've got a good chance against Dortmund if players come back and are fit. But Chelsea can't rely on Azpilicueta at right back if Reece James is going to continue to see reoccurrences of injuries. Reece James is a phenomenal player. Malo Gusto, 19 years old, currently playing at an incredibly high level, is putting in performance after performance this season for Lyon, and Chelsea need to make a signing in this position. I think we can't be relying and testing waters with Trevor Chalobah playing right back. Trev's a centre back, or he can play in defensive midfield. Reece can also play there, and I think if Chelsea don't bring in midfield options, and this is where I want to end this video right now, if Chelsea don't manage to sign midfield targets, maybe we see Reece James being deployed in a defensive midfield position. Malo Gusto comes in, and I think from what I've seen of this player, he is good enough to come into this Chelsea team, immediately upgrade on what we're seeing from Azpilicueta right now. And could we see Reece James used in a defensive midfield position between now and the end of the season if injuries persist and if players don't keep putting in good performances, and then Gusto play in the right back position? We are going to see this week if this deal develops. Today is Monday. We have got 8 more days left of this window, so throughout the course of the next 8 days, there are going to be lots of news videos here on GBFC. As I said earlier in this video, the tier list video for the midfield for the 23-24 season is linked in the description down below. If you did enjoy this one, hit the like button. Let me know what you think of signing Felix if we can on a permanent. Enzo Fernandez, should we still go for this player in January? And Malo Gusto, are you as excited about this prospect as I am? If Chelsea go in for him, let me know in the comments. Come on, you Blues.